What is good, yo? It's your boy Ty, back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're gonna be doing a tier list of some of the best small forwards right now in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. As you guys can see, we do have, 30 to 40 players here. The small forward position is not, I'm not going to say it's weak, but I can't sit here and say it is the strongest position out of all of them. The point guard position, we had a lot of players. Now, with the small forward position, there's really not that many. A lot of the guys, if you want, a small forward, they're going to be on the shooting guard list. Now, here's the deal. We've got F tier, D tier, C tier, B tier, A tier, and S tier. Now, there's only going to be 5 players at S tier. Hopefully, we can keep it decently well balanced from there on. Now, if you are new to the channel, man, make sure to smash that subscribe button. We're on the road towards 110,000 subscribers. Pokachevsky starting off this list. Now, if this was the budget player list, I would be one to tell you guys that Poku, for budget players, might be, A tier, even S tier. I love him as far as budget players are concerned. Now, the problem with it is, when you look up and down this list, how many players is Poku better than? A couple, maybe? I mean, maybe he's C tier. I don't know. D or C tier, I think, is where Poku's gonna have to be 7 feet tall. Because of that, I guess if you want to be a cheese ball, throw him at C tier. Jameson is a guy, I can't sit here and say that Jameson is anything above D tier. Now, that's not me saying Jameson is bad. The problem with Jameson is that he's just not great. Because, look, he came out, at the start of last season, and look, that was a while ago, and not to say he's bad, but he doesn't have the greatest release. He just doesn't do a lot of things that some other cards do. Not the tallest, not the best movement. There's just better cards in the game. Anthony Davis, I do think, has to be our first B tier player because, look, with AD, he's got a decent release. I can't sit here and say that his movement is absolutely fantastic or anything like that, but his player model is good. His release is solid. He's going to play lanes really well. And at the small forward position, he is just a solid overall card in my team. Moving on from Anthony Davis, we do see Bobby Jones, and I have Bobby Jones on the exact same level as Anthony Davis. Now, a lot of people might prefer AD. A lot of people might prefer Bobby Jones. Bobby Jones is a guy at the small forward position I can't say I'd recommend using anymore. I mean, not to say he's bad. I just think there are better options today and now at that small forward position. With that being said, he's still really solid in my team. And if you want to run Bobby Jones, he is more than serviceable. I definitely have him here at B tier. Invincible Carmelo Anthony, I can't go any higher than B tier. And I know a lot of people are going to get upset, maybe mad at me for having him at B tier. I prefer AD to Melo. I probably prefer Bobby Jones to Melo. Why? I just do not love the Carmelo Anthony release. A lot of people might like it. I'm not one of them, man. And that might sound bad. That might be bad. But I just can't. I have a hard time putting this Carmelo Anthony any higher. Now, endgame Melo, unquestioned S tier. Before Giannis and some of the other small forwards came out, Melo, I played him at small forward because KD wasn't out. Bron wasn't out. We didn't even have that many great small forwards in my team, and so I played Melo at S tier. Is he still S tier? I don't know. It's what we'll dive into as we go down this list. I might save a lot of these endgame players till the end because a guy like Chris Webber, is he as good as Carmelo Anthony? I think he is that step below. That's what I have right now. I do think he is that step below Carmelo Anthony. Whereas, look, if you want to use Chris Webber, you can. I'm not going to sit here and say you can't use Chris Webber because he is solid. I just think Carmelo Anthony is that little bit better. That is why I do have Melo right now at S tier, Chris Webber at A tier. I'm grinding for Chris Webber on the no money spent. So that just shows you guys how much I love and adore that card. Danny Ferry at this stage of my team is not great. He's not bad. He still has jump shot 98 on very quick. And look, not a lot of players in my team have that. And so that's the nice part about Danny Ferry, especially if you are on current gen, that he has something that a lot of other people don't have. I am awaiting for a better Danny Ferry card, because I do think we will see one in a decently shortly time. But for now, he is a D tier caliber player. Danny Manning is also D tier. I mean, if you want to run Danny Manning, be my guest. He's got a lot of Hall of Famers, but the card is not great in my team. He's not F tier. There's worse cards on this list, but definitely not a top player in my team. Fernando, I'm going B tier. There was a time last season in which I thought Fernando was the best. Was it last season or 2 seasons ago? I think it was last season, in which I thought Fernando was him. I thought Fernando, maybe it was 2 seasons ago, well, Fernando was the best small forward in the game. His time is done. His time is past. Not to say he can't be used, because if I still had Fernando, I probably would use him. It's just, there's better small forwards in my team. Gerald Wallace, I respect him at that small forward position. I honestly do think, is he better than Danny Ferry? No, that's the problem I have. And I know a lot of people who like Gerald Wallace. I don't think I put him on my shooting guard list. That's why he's included here. I know a lot of people who like Gerald Wallace might want Gerald Wallace to be higher. But with that being said, again, similar to a Pokachevsky, this is not a list of the budget tier. It's not. This list is not just for budget players. This list is just everybody in general. And so with that being said, I just can't have Gerald Wallace any higher than D tier. Giannis Antetokounmpo at the small forward position is A tier. Giannis Antetokounmpo at the small forward position is A tier. This Giannis is S tier. Now, this is the Giannis I use on my no money spend account. He's basically the same as Invincible Giannis. Are they better than Chris Webber? I mean, objectively, probably not. And look, I like Giannis. Okay, he's 6'11", so you could definitely make the argument he's better than Chris Webber. You can make that argument if you really want to. I just don't see it. I think Chris Webber gives you that little bit more. Still, all those players are A tier. Hedo Turkoglu. He's a C tier player. I like Hedo. He gives you a lot on the court. Good release. Movement-wise is incredible. My problem is Hedo as good as Bobby Jones? I just don't see it. I don't think so. I think he is on that level of Pokachevsky. And trust me, guys, C tier is still a very solid tier. It's just guys that I can't throw any higher. If you run Hedo and have a lot of success with him, I'm not telling you to sway that opinion. He is still really solid in my team. Okay, we're going to rank these 2 cards next. Jabari Smith and Keegan Murray. Okay, small forward position, Jabari Smith is B tier. Keegan Murray is A tier. You guys, if you don't like it, debate a wall. Keegan Murray is better than Jabari Smith. I don't want to hear any Keegan Murray slander, because I'm not tolerating it, man. I've used both these cards. I tried hyping up Jabari Smith. I thought he was literally him in my team. The problem is he's not him. Jabari Smith is not better than Keegan Murray, and I will stand on that opinion for the rest of my life, man. Trust me. Get Keegan Murray over Jabari Smith. He is the better option. Jaden Mcdaniels, you're our first F tier player. And I'm sorry, it pains me as a Timberwolves fan to put you in F tier, because your future is so bright. The problem is in 2K, they just did not make you very good. Jump shot 75. I don't know what they did to that release, because that release literally used to be so good. It's just not anymore. That release is not great, not ideal. Jaden isn't horrible. I just can't have him any higher than F tier on this list. Jason Tatum is D tier. He's not F tier. Originally, when I came up with this list, I thought Jason Tatum would be F tier. He's not. He's on the same tier as a guy like Anton Jameson. He's just not great in my team. I mean, that's the problem. We are due to get a new Jason Tatum, and when that time comes, he's probably going to be really solid. Problem is, the time is not now, and Jason Tatum is D tier. Jonathan Isaac up next. You guys might not like it. I'm putting him at A tier. And I know you guys might not like it, but hear me out. He's 6'11". At the small forward position, straight up and down release. I think he's better than Jabari Smith still to this day. I think because of what he does as far as his player model and what he does defensively, he is at A tier. I feel like he's still to this day is one of the most slept on cards in my team. Hey, I got him at A tier. If you don't like it, you guys can debate a wall. Josh Smith up next. And DBG was right about this card. This is one of those cards that we got that should have been better than he is. There's just something about Josh Smith when it's late in 2K, he just is not the same. Early on in 2K, Josh Smith always has good cards, always. He's like that stretch power forward that can shoot, and he's always really good. But as to the 2K year goes on, as time goes on, Josh Smith just loses value for what he does. Josh Smith card is not bad. I just can't have him any higher than C tier. That's where he belongs. Next up, Juancho Hernangomez. I still think Juancho Hernangomez is better than Josh Smith. I'm throwing him at B tier. Juancho gets slandered a lot because he's not as good as people thought he would be. You're asking me who I'd rather have, Juancho or Anthony Davis, Juancho or Jabari Smith. I'm probably still taking Juancho, and I know that might be unpopular. I think a really good comparison is to Jabari Smith. You know, they both aren't as good as they were supposed to be. A lot of it has to do with their release. They got similar releases. The Ray Allen base is the most overrated release in my team, unless you have the Kawhi lettered upper. Sorry, both those cards do belong at B tier. Got a lot of great cards left. Like, as I'm looking at this, how am I supposed to rank these Kawhi Leonards? One has set shot 25. One has, I mean, how do you rank these cards? I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. I want to do this, but I can't. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this 75th Kawhi in S tier and take the other Kawhis off the list. Because look, here's the deal. Nah, you know what? I'll take the Invincible Kawhi off the list because he's basically the same. I'll leave Endgame Kawhi up here because set shot 25 on Kawhi Leonard still is an S tier shooting guard small forward. Problem is, this card is just not as good. I don't. No. You know what? I don't even know what I'm talking about. You know what? When you look at this Kawhi Leonard, let's dive into it. When you look at this Kawhi Leonard, you guys tell me, bro, can you work? This Dikembe Mutombo is making me mad. You guys tell me. He doesn't even have set shot 25. I don't even know where I got that from. I'm used to every, shooting guard small forward for the most part having set shot 25. He doesn't even have it. He has jump shot 3. Now, he is still really good in my team. I had to think about it. I was like, I did the gameplay with Kawhi. He still has jump shot 3. He's not as good as this Kawhi. Certainly not as good as Invincible Kawhi. This Kawhi Leonard is A tier. And you guys don't have to like it. But I almost take Chris Webber over him. KD, A tier. I mean, I don't know what more needs to be said. Especially if you're on current gen. Kevin Durant is absolutely magnificent. Now, the other KDs, I think the 75th KD, it might be better than him. He's A tier too. Endgame Kevin Durant, he's S tier. You know, this is where we're talking about the set shot 25 on a guy that's 6'10", 6'9", can play lanes extremely well. He definitely does belong and deserves that S tier. We're wrapping things up here. We don't have that many more. Bro, we have all these LeBron James, and trust me when I say LeBron James is mid. He's C tier. I'm not putting LeBron James over Bobby Jones. I just can't. I refuse to do so. He is C tier, basically like a Josh Smith. That's all I can really say. Endgame Bron is S tier. There's nothing more that needs to be said. I honestly think this LeBron James is the best small forward in the game right now. That is my firm opinion. That is how high I am on King James. I think he is really, really good in my team. Robert Horry, I mean, I don't really know. I haven't really used the card. I'm going to throw him at C tier because I really do not know. Scotty Barnes, I hate to do it to you, man. Join Kawhi Leonard and Chris Webber at the top of A tier. You guys might be like, wondering, what, Ty? Seriously? Yes, guys, here's the deal. They're just a step below some of the best. And I don't, you guys can disagree if you want to, but Scotty Barnes' player model is not as good as Carmelo Anthony's. That's why Melo is above Scotty Barnes. Taco Fall, look, at the small forward position, I think he's a B tier player. He's way better at center. But if for some reason you just want him at that small forward position, he's B tier. I think that is where he belongs. And a lot of people might be higher, a lot of people might be lower. He's right smack dab in the middle at B tier. Card I don't know much about is Tari Eason. Supposedly his player model is pretty rough. That's what I've heard. Still has jump shot 75, which we all know I'm not very high on that release. How is Tari Eason any better than these guys at D tier? I mean, he could, especially at the small forward position, if he doesn't have a good player model, maybe you could argue him up a tier. I'm throwing him in D tier though. I don't see it with Tari Eason. Thon Maker. No Thon Maker slander. He's 7 feet tall, a better Pokachevsky. You guys might not like him better than Poku. I personally do. I think his player model, it might not be as long, but with Thon Maker, he gives you at least a wider player model. Player build, going to defend a little bit better. I just like him that little bit to Pokachevsky. That's why he is at B tier. One of the things down, Tobias Harris, he's not very good. He's D tier. Tracy McGrady is really good. Like, really, really good. If you want to move it, I'm doing it. This Gamma T-Mac is A tier. I don't care, man. Just because he's better at the shooting guard position doesn't mean we slander this T-Mac. I mean, look up and down the card. He's still 6'8", which is a decent height at the small forward position. Really good release. The card can do it all. T-Mac is definitely at A tier. And then wrapping things up with Xavier Mcdaniel. Now, I haven't used Xavier Mcdaniel that much. He's 6'9". He just looks like a mediocre overall card. My question is he even B tier? I don't think so. I'm throwing him at C tier. Honestly, I want to make this list proportional. So with that being said, gotta move one player down. I gotta move a couple players down from C tier. I guess the guy I really want to, or think I gotta move is Robert Horry. I'm gonna move him down, right or wrong, I don't know, but that's where I've got to lean to move down a player. B tier, who do I move down? Juancho, maybe, I guess. And then I gotta move one more player down. Oh boy. Oh boy. Who else deserves to be moved down? Bobby Jones, maybe? I think I like that a little bit more. Okay. And then at A tier, I got to move 2 players down. So who is more on this type of level? I mean, look, guys, with Kevin Durant, I mean, they are really similar. They're not the exact same card, but here's the deal. Here's the deal with KD. This KD is an Invincible, has the KD size up, which isn't nearly as good, but he is an Invincible card. Those KDs still belong there. I think what I got to do is move these 2 down. Jonathan Isaac and Keegan Murray. I think, ultimately, that's what I have to do. So outside of F tier and S tier, it's proportional, guys. From A tier to D tier, through and through, it is proportional. Let me know your thoughts on my tier list down below in the comments, guys. Hopefully I don't get too much slander. I tried to make things proportional at the end. If you guys think anything is super out of place, let me know that down below in the comments, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.